There we go. Good morning, everyone. It is, for me, 2 minutes to 4 a.m. It's the London session. I'd like to welcome you today. This is not being streamed live, but it is being recorded here on the London Open for my Telegram group and for my loyal followers on YouTube, just to be able to take a look at how I trade things on the Open and how I think about the opens here. We've kind of rethought the whole idea of live streaming on the opens, since I rarely actually take trades right on the open, given that we don't typically have range expansion until late in the session. We are brand new here at doing this live stream thing. I've just been a trader for myself and into my fourth decade. And so we're just kind of evolving this as we go. But it might not be the most resourceful thing to have people kind of tune in and watch a live stream of the Open if trades aren't being taken. But people have found it very helpful to hear me talk it through and how I look at look at the Open and why I do or do not trade. I sometimes do take a trade on the opening candle, but I usually don't in the first 10 minutes, and even in the first 20 or 30 or 40 minutes. And that's the way it's been of late. So I'm going to keep doing these. I'm going to wait for some feedback and see what people enjoy and what they want more of, and we'll try to accommodate the majority. I would like to please everybody, obviously, but you can't always do that. You can never do that. So we'll evolve this, guys. I do appreciate your feedback as we move through time here. 1 minute, I should say 5 seconds to go now until the Open. You'll notice that my charts are naked this morning. In other words, I don't have anything on them. There's no support and resistance, nothing. Market is open now. I'm not going to jump to do anything, so there's no rush for me here. We're trading the NASDAQ futures this morning, a 10-minute chart on the left-hand side, a 1-minute chart on the right-hand side. I typically look for 10-minute reasons to enter, so the left-hand chart, and then 1-minute justification or refinements of those entries. So my charts are naked, so what do? I come here first thing in the morning and I take a look at what's happened. This is the Asian session, this color, this background range you see here. This is the Asian session, and then there's nothing here. So what do? I'll take a look at this bottom here where prices bottomed, kind of between sessions here last night for me. Last evening, I should say. And so I'll put a support zone right in there. I'll come up here and I'll put a resistance zone above this action right here. You can see why. Prices had rallied and then stopped rallying, rounded over and turned down. So I'll draw a zone above the bodies there. I'll let the wicks pop up. The wicks are important, by the way, and we'll get to that if it becomes relevant. I'll tell you why, and so on and so forth. But right now we also have a minor short-term support right here, and we have another one right here. This is the 10-minute chart, as I mentioned. Now we got some structure. You notice how things are taking shape here a little bit. We got a little bit of structure to deal with and some framework and mileposting, if you will, to think about here on the Open. So we're getting a bit of a picture. For those of you who were around yesterday, you know that yesterday was one of the wildest days we've seen in a long time. Take a look at this. This was the FOMC Wednesday, right? Very range bound during Asia in the early part of the whole morning of New York, just drifting down. And then all of a sudden we had the 2:00 announcement, Fed announcement, FOMC, the rate announcement, of course raising rates to 75 basis points. This candle was a massive 241 points, and then things began to sell off very aggressively from there all afternoon right into the close. 541 point drop. We haven't seen something like that in a very long time. We did see something about 2 weeks ago that resembled that, but not for the same reasons. Okay, so here we go. We got some framework now. We are on the first candle. We've only two and a half minutes into the first candle here, 10-minute candle, right? We still have 7 minutes and 20 seconds left on that candle. So we're just going to watch now. This opening candle becomes my opening range. While we're watching this thing develop, I'm going to take you over to one other screen, and I'll look at this one as well. This is about it. This is all I look at here in the morning. This is what I call the Four Sisters. These are 4 indices. They are the NASDAQ again on the far left, the Dow to its right, the S&P 500 to its right, and then the DAX, German index, on the far right. And what we're seeing here, what we're looking for here is synchronicity, congruency, and possible divergence amongst the indices. And that gives us clues as to what the next move might be. Right now, things are very much in sync. You'll see that blue line there. That is the open here in London. And you'll see that all 4 indices are trading below the London Open and trading just below the 20 EMA. You see that there? The DAX is a tiny bit stronger, but nothing to write home about. I wouldn't take it anything too seriously, or I wouldn't read too much into that, shall I say. Now, guys, I apologize for my voice. I've been losing my voice a little bit of late here from all the talking on the videos. I've recorded and uploaded over 100 videos in the last 3 weeks, which I think must be some kind of a record here on YouTube. And with the dry air coming in, heating systems kicking in here in the New York zone, my voice is taking a bit of a beating here. So I appreciate your patience with that and your long suffering through this. But the support has been amazing, and people have been so understanding and really just wonderful. And so thank you for that. All right, first 10-minute candle. We're still only 5 minutes into this. A little bit of indecision right now. You'll notice how prices are exactly in the middle of this opening range. And for me, the opening range really begins to take form on this opening 10-minute candle. So you can see right now, my opening range is this, right? Top to bottom of the 10-minute candle. Pretty simple. And until and unless prices move outside of that 10-minute candle, I'm not even remotely interested in taking a trade. So pretty simple, just to sit here and watch and try to understand what the market may be thinking next. Now, let's see what happens here. What if prices drop below here? There are no other lines, support lines. Well, let's move over here, all the way over. Wow, so let's see how many days this is. 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11, 12 trading days. And there's nothing going on here until we get way over here. This is when we can begin to look at other support in this kind of gravity-free zone. And look, here it is, folks, right there, right? This is how simple this is. Keeping things very, very simple. We don't have to get complicated. I'm actually going to draw my zone up here because that's the point of ultimate rejection closest to where market action is now. Some might put it down here, and I would actually be a little bit more conservative and do it here because this is closer to today than this, right? Very simple. You get another one down here. We can just kind of draw this. This is actually more aggressive resistance. You can do one here too. I would do a line here to remind me that there's something happening there. Then I bring myself back to the present, and now we have some structure to work with if prices fall down below, right? This is what we're looking at. Our immediate zone is here, and then here, and then this is that bigger zone. This, by the way, is significant, right? This is 39 points, and this whole thing is about 57 or 58 points. Okay? We're still in that opening candle. Just jumping around here, up and down. If prices get above here, I wouldn't be taking the trade in this zone because we're talking only, 15, 16 points here potentially. But this is messy. And there'd be a lot of resistance there to things moving higher. But if we can get up here, this is a very, very different ball game. So now we can go back here and see again, where can we go next in terms of resistance above this area? Well, it's way up here. This is a big one. This is key resistance where there was a violent rejection from prices moving higher, even on that massive, powerful thrust yesterday on the 2 p.m. news, the FOMC. That's 2 p.m. New York time, of course, Eastern Standard Time. Then we have another zone in here. So what I'll do is actually move this way over here just to connect it in my mind to what we're seeing here. And then what I would do is draw an arrow from here all the way up to here. And the reason I'm doing that is to remind my brain that this is an area of clean traffic where prices may flow freely given the fact that there is clean traffic to the to the left over there, right? There's more clean traffic here. So why don't I just draw one big arrow covering this whole area? Excuse me. The reason I don't do that is because prices are very likely to pause here, even reject, even reverse all the way back, or at least partially the way back before attempting to make another break through here. That's just the way this works, folks. And you can watch my videos. You'll see it happening real time in many of those videos because that's the way support and resistance works. One of the most basic concepts in technical analysis is this idea of support and resistance. And I'll keep coming back to it because once you understand that, you can do great things and be very profitable in trading just by understanding support and resistance and how to trade it. And this is coming from a hardcore charted market technician for 23 years, technical analysis for more than 25 years, technical analyst, for 25 years, and a fundamental analyst before that, a trader for 33 years, now into my fourth decade, and somebody who has been in the institutional world, the world of asset management for my entire career, and has complicated things greatly for many, many years. Now, just getting back to first principles and teaching those ideas to traders who want to listen and who want to hear the voice of simplicity. As Leonardo da Vinci said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, right? And if a genius, a brilliant man like that can say that simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication, I'm willing to listen. Albert Einstein, another genius, said that if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, then you don't understand it yourself. And I want you to think about that and dig deep because there's a huge amount of profound insight in that statement. If you can't explain it, whatever it might be, to a 6-year-old, then you just don't understand it yourself. We need to be able to take things back to first principles and explain why we're doing what we're doing, not just here, but in life, ideally, right? You can get by with not explaining it. But to really understand something in its simplicity means you really have to understand it. That's what we're doing here. I'm going to be doing videos on why support and resistance actually happens and why it's so critically important to include in your business practice. All right, we're into the second candle, guys. We're into the second candle now. 1 minute in, price is driving up. Theoretically, there could be an opportunity to take a long here. I'm not doing it. There's way too much resistance or noise or mess over here on the left-hand side. Just watching now. We'll take you back now to the Four Sisters, and you'll see they're off the charts at this point. That's just because I haven't reset. And here we go. Let's just make sure we got some synchronicity still, and we do. You see things are moving very much similarly. You'll see the open here. This is the London Open, this blue line, moving out to the right as time progresses. And you'll see that all four indices are basically doing the same thing. All of them above their open, all of them above their 20 EMA, NASDAQ, Dow, SPY, and DAX, right? So we're learning nothing from here except for that there's a concerted movement really across the globe, if you will, outside of Asia, in terms of what we're doing here, right? In these early minutes of the London session. All right, let's go back to the main screen. You see prices again pulling back very much into the middle of that range. Remember that opening 10-minute candle for me is my minimum open range right there. But I need to expand this open range to include this action here, even these wicks, because there is so much noise here and messiness to the left of that first candle. That needs to be included for me, right? There are different ways. There are 1,001 ways to scalp and to day trade. This is the way I do it. This is not the right way. This is just how I found to be the most efficient, the most resourceful, and the most profitable, quite frankly. You can get really chewed up in here if you're trying to trade within this stuff. And those are things that I've learned over the many years. I'm just going to take a look at, zoom out here and get some big picture perspective, and I'll give it to you too. You can see that there. How after that massive sell-off, we've had a fairly narrow range. Now that looks narrow, but those are actually very big point moves. But it looks tiny compared to this 540 point drop, give or take, depending on how you measure that. But this is big. I'm just sending a note off to my Telegram group. Encourage you to join there as well. The links are in the YouTube videos, and it will be in this one as well. You'll find them on my Twitter as well. Cerulean Trades. Cerulean Trades at Twitter. Encourage you to join us there. Some great resources as well. Still watching this here now, guys. This is closing in. This candle's closing in 3 minutes. There won't be anything here for me until things really break out, either to the upside or the downside. I will tell you what I'm looking for. If we can get up here into the zone or down below, but I'll talk about the upper zone here for today. It'll be the opposite of the downside. But if we can get a convincing break and close in this zone up here, or the one down there, and then a pullback, so a top wick, and then another top wick on the next candle and a break above, I may be looking for a long opportunity. But things have to look symmetrical and orderly on the 1 minute chart in order for me to take that. And to understand that more fully, please watch my videos. There are many, over 100 videos there to really get an understanding of what I mean by that. But really simple entry reasons here on the 10-minute candle. I won't take everything that looks like an entry because the 1 minute must look right, and proportion has to be correct. We also don't want an overextended move. If we've seen an extended move into that zone and then a break and close, I may still not take it until we get a nice pullback and a retest here of the resistance level. I want to thank you for joining us, guys. We'll come back later if we see some range expansion. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we're going to get some trades here today. I can almost be certain of that, as a matter of fact. And we will post those as well, so we can all learn together. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you in the New York session, and join us here on Telegram. Telegram Trading, I believe, is the handle. I've got 2 channels, and we're just kind of shifting things around here a little bit. But you'll find the link in the description. Come and join us. Have some fun. We are like-minded individuals, all looking to do the same thing, and that's to extract profits from the markets on a consistent basis. Thanks again, guys. We will talk to you soon.